Peace. What's up? What's up? What's good? Got the little wave cap action going on today. Little wave cap action. But I gotta talk about this. You know, I gotta share a testimony to what's been transpiring in the magical realm of things. You know what I mean? So a few months ago, I want to say maybe like a few months ago, maybe like probably not even 2 months, you know what I mean? Maybe like a month and a half or so, but even with that, it seems like it's just, the time has just been really not a factor, you know what I mean? Really, it's really not that important, but I want to say, since I started dealing with the Goetia, right, and the lesser keys of Solomon, you know what I mean? I've been noticing some things that have been happening, right? For one, I notice that, and I'm gonna start here because I don't want to just make it seem all physical and like just a physical human prowess type of thing. But I noticed, first of all, that my mind was just a little bit more structured. Like it was, I could almost feel my mind trying to do that thing where it goes crazy and start thinking about all kind of crazy shit and just getting out of control to the point where it kind of had me you know what I mean? I could literally feel my mind trying to do that, but it was it just wasn't happening. It was just I was so I could almost in a sense see the nerves firing just calmly and just in the direction that I wanted them to go, or in a way that wouldn't cause me any mental anguish or incoherent kind of thinking. You know what I mean? I was just calm and relaxed mentally. I could feel that mentally, the atmosphere of my mind was just calm. It was whatever I wanted to think about, I could go straight to that. Almost I was in a state of no thought, really, until I started thinking. But, that was the first thing I noticed, you know what I mean? And what I was doing was, I have I just put down this little, it's a tabletop, really. But I use it as the circle, you know what I mean? They talk about, when you're summoning spirits and entities and evoking certain deities or whatever, you want to cast a circle, blah, 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 right? So I said, I just use my tabletop. It's already a circle, whatever, you know what I mean? So what I did was just, I just had a book open. I might read here and there, just reading about different entities and spirits and qualities or whatever. And in the book, they'll tell you, I guess I should show y'all the book. But this is the book right here, Goetia. And basically, it'll tell you that these different entities, spirits, and energies or whatever. Oh dang, I turned right to the page. It says the spirits of the Goetia are portions of the human brain. That's what I was trying to tell y'all just now. Right, so their seals therefore represent methods of stimulating or regulating. Remember what I was saying about how my mind was just calm? Those particular spots through the eye, which is the third eye, right? So This goes into the pineal gland, you know, your third eye, all of that. It says the names of God are vibrations calculated to establish a general control of the brain. Bruh. It says control over the brain in detail. This is how I'm just able to explain this shit to y'all, like how I just explained it. Like, how the fuck do I know what nerves firing in my brain look like and all this type of shit? Like, these different entities, once you start dealing with them, they will grant you this knowledge, because it's like, so some of them are like masters in astrology, pyromancy, you know, geometry, you know, did I say astrology? Mathematics, just things of the past, things of the future, shit like that. Like, all of these different attributes that they associate with these spirits are really just attributes of your mind. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, oh, it's evil. Nigga. If that's how you want to look at it, then fine. I'm not here to convince you of that. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But that's just the first thing, you know what I mean? Like, I noticed, like, my mind, like, just my will to do magic and to want to do magic, you know, just reading, you know what I mean, meditating, all of these different qualities are being integrated back into my personality, you know what I mean, back into my life. So, and I just want to shout out my girl Kendra Justine, first of all, pretty boss. I don't know why, I just got the feeling to do that. But so what was I saying? Yeah, so like all of these different qualities and faculties will begin to be, you know, integrated back into your life too, maybe if you get into it. But it was just other things just happening, you know what I mean? Things that I wanted or thought I wanted, and I got it, and I was like, I really was like putting all that effort and that force and that energy into getting that, like, and then when I tapped into this Goetia shit, when I just tapped into my magic, when I started getting to myself, it just kind of really just fell in my lap, literally, like it was, and that's something else I gotta get to. Like, literally, these things were not, it was almost like I couldn't push it away. It was like these things were starting to force themselves on me, you know what I mean, like people and just different situations. So that's one thing, you know. That's another thing. One thing I really want to say is that I'm the type of magician that, you know, you might catch at a job or some shit like that. You might catch me on the job. Like, what you doing? Like, shit, just, you know, I'm just passing through, like, literally, because I be in and out. You gotta, like, if you know what I mean, it ain't gonna be long. I'm here for a good time, you know, not a long time. But it just depends on the situation. You know what I mean? But so speaking of the job thing, like, that's something else I know. It's like when I'm from dealing with the Goetia, and I know it was just something in me. It was just something in my spirit that was just like, I know this is because of the Goetia, right? This is because of these spirits. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gaining control over them. And like, when you understand that everything is energy, everything is spirit in a sense, you know what I mean? And you understand that you can control that shit, like, it'll take you to another level. But let me finish with this. So I was working at Applebee's, and I ain't gonna lie, and the same thing is happening with the job that I'm at now. But excuse me, lip skin. So, basically what I did was I decided, man, you know, because at first I wasn't really getting no hours like that. It was just like a few days on the schedule, like, literally. And this is a a job where they pay bi-weekly. So 3 days on the schedule in a 2-week time frame ain't cutting it, right? So I'm like, at first I was like, well, I can do a little quick ritual to get more days on the schedule, right? Then I was like, well, what I do that walk around, I could just say fuck this job and just do something completely different, right? So I was like, I think I just stopped going in. Just stopped going. Like one day I didn't show up. No matter of fact, that's what I did. I was there and I just left. Like an hour and a half into my shift, I just left. I said, fuck it. And nobody called me or said, hey, where you at? What happened? Nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at the schedule, like I can see the schedule on my phone from my app. And I'm like, it still got me on the schedule. You know what I mean? So boom. So yeah, I'm looking at the schedule, like they still got me on the schedule, so I'm still just not showing up to work. Like days that I'm supposed to work, just not showing up. Like no call, no show, literally. And this went on for like almost 2 weeks before they just said, fuck it, well, I guess he ain't coming back. And my whole point of saying this is that I had so much, I guess, power or control over the situation to the point where it's like I was trying to quit the job and I couldn't even quit the job. You know what I mean? Like that's how like much I had it in my grips. How, you know what I mean? I had the spirit, you know, for lack of a better word, of that job in my hands. Like it was literally mine. I could do what I wanted. If I wanted to go back to work and just show up, I could have did that. You know what I mean? But and the same thing is happening with this other job. And I think I'm gonna actually give this one a try. Kinda like part of me wants to, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing with this one. Like I haven't been there like 3 or 4 days, maybe 5. You know what I mean? Just not going. And they called today in the middle of my spiritual bath. And you know, I called them back once I was done. It's like, hey, you know, the manager want to know if you're still interested in working. You know, I'm like, yeah, but the only reason, like, to be honest, what really had me, like, trying to block it type shit or not going was the fact that I wasn't, like, completely in the system yet. So if I go to your job and I'm working, I want to know that what I'm doing is being accounted for. Like, yeah, you could write down my time on a piece of paper, but you can forget about that. Especially where you're working in a job where the manager's doing whatever they doing. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna put them out there like I ain't gonna put them out there. You know what I mean? But shit, fuck it. You know, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But you know what I mean? It's just, you know, when you're dealing with people aren't always that reliable. And computers too. Computers can shut down, go down, or whatever. But I would feel, you know, more comfortable coming in and actually being able to clock in and know that, okay, I'm a part of this job. I'm a part of this, whatever is going on here. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to feel outside of the group. You know what I mean? It's like being in a relationship, but like, it's no intimacy, it's no love. You don't even really feel like you're in a relationship. How long are you going to stay in that relationship? How long? Not very long. If you don't feel like this shit, then what are you there for? Same thing with the job situation. But you know, then like I said, the Goetia, you know what I mean? The Goetia, they work You know what I mean? It works, or your mind begins to work. Let me put it like that. But yeah, man. It just goes into how you can control one special portion of the brain. The brain. Get my lips to move right when I say the brain. But yeah, that's just like when you call on the name of a spirit. If I say Lakshmi, I'm calling on or activating a specific area in my mind, in my consciousness. Lakshmi, prosperity, abundance, lots and lots of good things, bigger portions. You know what I mean? You can see my closet door. I gotta put that shit back over there on the closet. But yeah. So when I call on Shiva, Shakti, Rumala, you know what I mean? Bastet or Sekhmet, you know what I mean? Hathor, you know what I mean? These are different areas and portions of your mind, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just wanted to share that, you know what I mean? Just some things that have been happening. There's some other things that I didn't go into detail about because, you know, that ain't y'all business. Your business. But, yeah, so peace. Oh, I got a new crystal. Back on my stone shit, you know. Stone age living. But yeah. Y'all be out. Y'all be good. Y'all be peace. Be peaceful. Peace. I'm out.